G'day, that safety guy here. Muffle, muffle, muffle. Fuck, I hate these things. Hey, g'day, that safety guy here. Here in Ontario, in Southern Ontario, in Toronto anyway, it is hotter than I can remember. We're sitting around 38, 39 degrees Celsius with the humidex. So guys, girls, workers, make sure you hydrate, right? You're looking at 8 ounces of water pretty much every 20 minutes. Again, I've said this before, probably last summer as well, is that far better to have warm water, room temperature water, because it's easier and faster for your body to absorb it, which is good for hydration. If you want to use water, cold water, to cool yourself down, take that ice cold water bottle, put it on your left wrist or at the back of your skull. That'll help give you the sensation of cooling. But for the hydration take a look at your humidex indexes to see just how hot it is, because at a certain point, something around 75% humidity, I believe, sweating becomes ineffective, which means you definitely need to cool down. So you need to take those 10-minute cooling breaks, get out of the sun, get out of the direct heat, get into an air-conditioned vehicle or air-conditioned trailer, possibly even just in the shade. But again, 8 ounces of water pretty much every 20 minutes. That's not the whole point of this particular event today. So what's going on today? I find it really, really funny. Now, I am by no means the be-all, end-all of safety guys, and I don't pretend to be. However, I do subscribe to the school of lead by example. Hard hats. I wear my safety glasses. I wear my prescription safety glasses as well. High-vis vest, everything else. So, without getting into any great detail of where I have been for the last week, because somebody might get pissed off at me with whatever. If you're going to come onto a site and start preaching from the Book of Green, start requiring, recommending, or saying that we need to do something, like improving our Book 7 traffic layout or something like that, don't you think it would be an appropriate thing to at least be wearing the appropriate PPE for the time? So I had a safety guy come onto the site that I'm on today, wearing a European-style high-vis vest, which does not meet the requirements of Ontario. And it was really, really hard for me to understand or to effectively give credit as he's trying to, improve what's already legislated, as he's trying to improve what meets the requirements, when I'm staring at this vest with the retroreflective striping that's wrong. It's actually European, doesn't meet the CSA standard, let alone the Ontario standard, right? It was missing the orange that we have to have. The retroreflective striping itself wasn't wide enough, and this was actually surrounded by black, which goes against everything that's prescribed in the regulations for Ontario. Should it really be a big deal? No. However, if we are held to a specific standard, everybody should be held to that same standard. If you come on the site and you're not even wearing the right PPE, the CSA approved PPE, how can you have any street credit? How can you have any credit at all when it comes to the other things that you need to enforce? The stuff that the worker shall do, like be tied off or be protected from a fall, anything over 10 feet, or having equipment and material stored more than a meter back from the leading edge of an excavation, and have that excavation cut back, so it's a nice slope, or have it guardrailed, or for that matter, say that we require you shall put in K-barriers, K-rail, or Jersey barriers for the traffic control plan, even though it's stated in Book 7 that no, it's not. And it met that requirement. There are several large companies in Ontario, in Toronto anyway, that, their safety guys wear black garments with the retroreflective striping. Again, $250 fine in Ontario. They were the navy blue. This guy wearing what looked like, it was a very cool setup, but it was a European style. and it didn't meet the CSA the CSA requirement. So how can you come quoting from the Book of Green, preaching from the Book of Green, telling us what we shall do instead of recommending or having that discussion, but yet you can't follow the simplest of simple first aid rules, which is wear the required PPE. Am I perfect? Heck no. I don't pretend to be. I find it really, really funny though. And then you challenge them, and now all of a sudden I got to prove to them that what I'm talking about is factual, which is easy enough to do. If you go to section 69.1 in the regulations for construction in Ontario, it prescribes, it tells you exactly what that garment shall look like and what the measurements are for all the components. It's actually that simple. So for those of you who don't know me, for those of you that do know me, and what my boss expects from us at the company we work for is to be very, very, very good and very competent in that green book, very competent in what those words actually mean. I sometimes enjoy the challenge, but if you're going to be if you're going to be an NCSO and you're going to throw your health and safety degree in my face, having never been on the tools, you best be bringing your A game, because we're going to have a conversation and it will be kind of one-sided, especially if you're trying to tell me that I'm wrong and I can physically prove that I'm actually right. And I like being proven right. I like being able to prove myself right. So again, if you're a safety person, safety professional, you know what? If anybody's going to lead by example, it's going to be us. We have to have the required stuff. The least we can do is wear CSA approved garments. Anyway, stay cool, hydrate, wash your hands, right? Get your face coverings on if you can't social or personal distance. That's 6 feet or that 2 meters. And let's keep riding this silly wave we're on. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your summer. And again, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate.